Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. New piece in The Atlantic, of course, funded by Laureen Powell Jobs, Emerson Collective. That is The Atlantic, isn't it? Yep. The Constitution prohibits Trump from ever being president again. We warned you that they're going to use the 14th Amendment in the United States Constitution, which is written way too broadly. We've said that before, and the media attacked us for saying it, to try to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. Understand that the people that are pushing forward, quote unquote, our democracy. How many times do you hear that? It's not just democracy, it's our democracy, our democracy. Very possessive, as if they own it. And remember, we are a republic, not a democracy. Every time you hear our democracy, replace it with our oligarchy. That's really what they mean. When Morning Joe and Rachel Maddow say our democracy is under attack, what they're really saying is that our oligarchy is under attack. Our autocracy is under attack. Our shadow government is under attack. That's what they're really saying. The party of democracy, the party of voting, is very worried that voting is not going to turn out very well for them. The data is even more promising than I thought it would be at this moment. Now, anything can change. But Donald Trump is facing 600 years in federal prison, 4 different indictments. And the data is showing that not only have the indictments helped him in the primary, but the indictments very well might be helping him in the general election. I get in debates all the time with members of the American ruling class when I visit Aspen or Vegas or whatever, who don't like Trump, and they say, Donald Trump cannot win the general election. You have to get that out of your head. Will he? I don't know. Is the deep state going to prevent him? Without a doubt. Is he the favorite? No. But you have to dismiss this very shallow, banal one-liner of saying he can't. Not true. In fact, the media is accidentally stumbling into this data, and that is exactly why the Atlantic article is out. The party of democracy, which again is really the party of oligarchy, is saying that we must prevent Donald Trump from ever coming on the ballot. I'm going to prove to you exactly what they mean, because they are now saying this out loud. They're trying to move the Overton window. And some of the, boy, I was going to use a term I shouldn't use. Let's just say moderates in the Republican circle, like David French, who's not even a Republican. He's a regime water carrier for the neoliberal agenda. They're saying, oh, this is actually a really good idea. If Donald Trump is so unpopular, then beat him at the ballot box. If Donald Trump is so terrible, then use your sacred democracy to reject him. But this is now bubbling up. The data is now showing that the indictments aren't working. In fact, it's probably going to only hurt them more because these cases only grow weaker with time. So you take Big Fannie Willis. Big Fannie Willis. She comes out and she goes after every single person that has set foot in Fulton County associated with Donald Trump. Her case will only get weaker from this point forward. A judge is not going to put up with some of these charges. Good lawyers will eventually get brought into this. She's at her climax of media support. She will only weaken. And by the way, she's got a bunch of clowns around her. That's not some sort of thing that I'm speculating. She got this woman, well, I mixed up the save and send buttons. Like they're not sending their best to Fulton County. So the public opinion of these indictments is only going to shift further. And I'm starting to see this bubble up in the grassroots. I'm starting to see this bubble up in the non-political circles, where all of a sudden the reverence for the Constitution is now taking a higher plane than any sort of allegiance or support of Donald Trump. Where people, and this is a very good sign, you want to have a white pill moment, you want to have like a optimist twist, I'm starting to see rumblings of people that hate Donald Trump but they say, I love the Constitution more than I hate Donald Trump. All you need is a sliver of independence to believe that, and this whole ballgame ends, and it ends quickly. That would be the tipping point, everybody, is if you can get enough people that you don't even convince them that Donald Trump is great. You can actually accept the premise. But then you say, is there something that actually supersedes the hate? Is there something that supersedes your distaste for him? I'm starting to see it. This clip right here is very telling. CNN is telling you that all the data, macro polls, Donald Trump is in a much stronger position than he was even in 2020. Now, remember our rule here. We don't like poll watching, like bird watching. We need poll watchers, but we don't overdo the polls. But the macro trend is very interesting. We need ballot chasers. We need voter registration. We need all that. Just remember, the polls didn't help us in Arizona, but this is interesting. What it shows, it's a race. It's going to come down to the technical side, but they thought they would have like a 10-point delta between Trump and Biden at this point. And CNN is growing awfully nervous, worried. Play cut 6.
This is Quinnipiac University. It was a 2-point race in February. Look where it is now. It's a 1-point race. That's well within the margin of error. But take away one thing from this, and one thing only if you take away only one thing. And that is, I think there are a lot of Democrats who simply can't believe that Donald Trump can be elected president again. The polling indicates that Trump is, in fact, in a stronger position at this point than he was during the entire 2020 campaign, according to the national polls. If we had state-level polling, I wouldn't even be surprised if Trump were ahead in the swing states that are most important, Jim.
Okay, so let's not look. The polls lied to us in the midterms. Some polls said that Carrie Lake was up 10 points, and she probably was. It's just they did the boring stuff way better than us. So if we do our job to ballot chase, voter reg, secure our elections, then all of a sudden this polling is going to look very much to what ends up happening. If we engage in voting month, all that good stuff, right? Precinct by precinct, grassroots muscle, that's going to be, I am going to be a broken record on this. Unlike all these other shows, oh, wow, look at these polls. Yeah. How about the boring stuff? Are we doing it? Are we hiring ballot chasers? Are we engaging in early voting? Remember, if we even do 10 to 20% of the early voting work the Democrats have been doing, we might just accomplish enough. Plus, we secure our elections. We have Mike Lindell coming up next hour to tell us about his plan. So all this good stuff, right? What it shows, these polls are showing, is that this is totally winnable. That's what it's showing. Not that we're going to win, not that we're going to lose, but it's kind of in that you're telling me there's a chance. Yes. I'm telling you there is 100% a chance. I still mark us as the underdog. Let me be clear. We're up against the FBI, the CIA, broken elections. We're up against the Democrat regime, George Soros, Laurene Powell jobs, these legal challenges. We are the underdog. But I actually like Donald Trump in the underdog position. I like 2016 energy. I like the scrappy. I like the hustle. I like the us versus the world. I like the grassroots. I like Dairy Queen Donald Trump more than 15 days to slow the spread Donald Trump. And the regime, which says our democracy when they're really saying our oligarchy, they're starting to look around and they're saying, what else do we have? What else do we have? We tried the indictments not working. We tried Big Fanny. We tried Big Mac Alvin Bragg. We tried deranged lunatic Jack Smith, and there is something else. They will reach deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And of course, they're desperate. These people are unbelievably desperate. I'm going to tell you what somebody wrote a rather long manifesto of what is at the root of liberalism. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, don't support him killing people, but in the manifesto, he famously said, at the root of all liberalism is insecurity. And boy, is that true. They are an insecure people.